and the reaction was very strong. It was very, what are you doing? Take your shoes off in the house. And it only took that one time for me to learn that lesson. And ever since, it's been very easy for me to just immediately just take off my shoes.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. One of the most impactful ways to learn about a new culture is when you make embarrassing mistakes in a new country. I've asked some friends of mine living here in Seoul, South Korea about embarrassing experiences they've had during their time here. Save yourself the embarrassment while we regale you of our funny and embarrassing experiences here in Seoul. Let's go. Hello, where are you from?
I am originally from Vancouver, Canada.
How long have you been living in Korea now?
In and out for the last 10 years, but officially long-term settled in 2 years.
So what are some cultural mistakes that you've made in the past, and especially when you first got to Korea?
I remember trying to help an elderly lady with her bags. It was a little bit of an awkward situation. I didn't know if I was supposed to ask her first, but I just decided, let me just grab these bags and help her. And she was like, although in the end I think she got the intent behind it and she let me help and she was thankful. But
I think that's actually both personal and cultural. That woman could be like personally not very open to talking to strangers, but I think Korea in general, you don't really approach strangers on the street, let alone touch their things unless they ask you. Yeah, so I think that's actually really a good one. Hi, where are you from?
Hi, I'm Bella and I'm from Australia. I've been living in Seoul for 3 years. I went to a restaurant and it was just like a kimbap kind of place. And in Australia, when you go to a restaurant, usually you go to the door and you wait for the server to tell you where to sit. You don't just walk in and sit anywhere. So I went there and I stood by the door for like a minute or two, just waiting for them to tell me where to sit. And everyone in the restaurant was looking at me like, what is she doing? Like why is she standing there? And I thought, oh, okay, maybe they don't like me. I don't know. So I just kind of like slowly walked in and sat down, and then I didn't know how to order, so I was trying to like make eye contact with them, because in Australia if you go to a restaurant it's unfortunate but you don't have a bell, you can't yell at them or go like this or whatever, you just have to kind of try
catch
to
their eye,
you have to be trying to make eye contact for like 20 minutes to order. At that kimbap place I had to ask the person next to me, hey, how can I order, what should I do?
Did they help you?
Yeah, they called the lady over and I ordered and it was okay.
That's really interesting, and I think these kind of mistakes aren't necessarily like rude or dangerous, they're just kind of embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
When you go to a restaurant, every restaurant here is kind of different, so you have to read the room and read the atmosphere. Some are just like self-seat and some are like they'll sit you down. So I know what you mean. I guess in the West it's more like you should always wait for the staff. Hi, where are you from?
Hi, my name is Chad and I'm from the United States. I've been living in Korea total about 2 years. In the West or in the United States, usually when you enter a home, it's not really a requirement for you to take your shoes off when you go in. It's a polite thing to do. Some people will ask that you take your shoes off, but here it's, it's non-negotiable. You enter a home and, there's literally a shelf there just for shoes. So one of the things that happened to me when I first came here was I didn't realize this, and I just walked right into somebody's home, and the reaction was very strong. It was very, what are you doing? Take your shoes off in the house. And it only took that one time for me to learn that lesson, and ever since it's been very easy for me to just immediately just take off my shoes.
That's so interesting, because I've been living in Korea over 6 years now, and if I go back to the US to visit family or friends, it shocks me that people wear shoes inside their houses, like it tracks the dirt. Like, this is a really good habit, I think.
It is a really good habit.
So I guess the opposite question, if someone were to go to Australia, what are some things that, maybe probably shouldn't do these things? Or if they did them, they'd be kind of weird.
Maybe because Seoul's such a busy city, everyone's kind of like go, 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 and they don't really have as much time to like hold open doors, say excuse me if they bump into you, say thank you to the bus driver or whoever. But in Australia, specifically Melbourne, when you get off the bus, everyone says thank you to the bus driver. Yeah, but just small things like that. And if you bump into someone, saying sorry or excuse me. I mean, if you get on the subway in Seoul, especially line 2, during peak hour, there's no excuse me's. It's every man for themselves. You just get on when you can, which I understand because it's such a busy and fast city, so I don't think
it's almost like it's obvious that you would bump into someone, so...
Yeah, so when I first came here, I was like, oh, it's a bit rude, but I adjusted and now I kind of understand.
Here, there is no tipping culture, but in the US, there's, it's almost a a requirement to
you have to
give,
tip.
you have to tip when you go out to eat. So, to not do that, that could really insult some people.
Could be seen as rude too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Or that server might think that they did a terrible job at serving you your food. It really sends the wrong message. But if somebody doesn't know that that's what you're supposed to do, then it's no fault of their own. They just didn't know.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this topic?
I think Koreans are very forgiving, especially when they realize you are not from here and you didn't grow up here. And
you're trying. You're making an effort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You make the effort, and you don't have that attitude of this is how it's done where I'm from. People are very understanding, and they try to teach you in the easiest way possible. So.
One of my favorite things about being here. Right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
그리고 저는 요즘 멤버십 프로그램을 하고 있는데 새로 영상을 올릴 때마다 영어 대본과 한영 자막을 자유롭게 설정할 수 있는 영상도 멤버들에게 올려드릴게요. 관심 있으시면 아래 설명을 참고해주세요.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once again, I'm Sean. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, to be honest, I'm here as an exchange student, so basically I use a lot of soju. So yeah, definitely I think I will miss soju when I will go back in France.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean. So Korean things I can't live without. For me personally, I love how fast the internet is here. As someone who makes videos and works a lot on the internet, it's invaluable how fast the internet is here. And even on the subway, you can access Wi-Fi. Pretty much every cafe has really fast Wi-Fi too. It's just so convenient and awesome. Let's find out what other people living here have to say about this topic. Let's go. Hi, where are you from?
Germany.
I'm from America.
I'm from France.
What are some things you can't live without here in Seoul, South Korea?
I like the heated floors.
Oh, okay.
I really do, because like in America, if it's cold, you have to turn on the heater and that takes a while. But like if you're in a Korean house, they have this like underground heating system.
Yeah.
And I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And when I'm cold in the winter time and I come home and I feel that warmth on the floor, I could sleep on the floor. I love that.
You like that?
Yeah. I kind of also appreciate that you take off your shoes when you get home, because I understand the aspect. You have dirt on your shoes when you
Makes
walk.
sense.
So when you take off your shoes, it's kind of like keeping the floor clean. So I kind of like that cultural aspect.
Yeah.
Soju.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely I think I will miss soju when I will go back in France. It's available in all convenience store, and convenience store are open every time basically here in South Korea, even during the night.
To me, it sounds like you also really like the convenience stores here, right?
Yeah, okay, there are convenience store everywhere. It's not like in France, there are only big markets, like that's it. If you want to buy something, you obviously can find a convenience store like 50 or 100 meters from your house. So it's super cool and super useful. To compare, like in France, we don't have this kind of convenience store open every time.
So what do you like to buy in the convenience store? I know the first one, soju.
Yeah, soju. Kimbap.
Kimbap.
Kimbap too, yeah.
I don't like if somebody is walking in front of me and smoking, and you have to breathe it in. The people here are staying outside or staying at the corner and smoke there, the smoking zones.
Yeah.
And I don't like it in Germany if people are walking in front of me and smoking. That's a good habit here. And the polite thing with giving something with two hands.
Yeah.
Very respectful.
Have you started doing that yourself?
Yes.
One thing I do like about Korea is it's so convenient. If there's like a coffee shop on every corner, at least 3 coffee shops on every corner, and then there's like convenience stores everywhere, and you can go at night and not be afraid, which I love because I'm a woman. So walking outside knowing that I'm going to be safe and can get something late at night is kind of awesome. You know what I mean?
Is that a big contrast to your hometown in the US?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there would be more masks in Germany, because here it's like a polite thing if you're sick or if you're feeling ill.
Yeah.
You wear a mask to be
Respectful to other people.
Yeah. People, yes,
and
sure.
that culture doesn't really exist in Germany.
No.
Wow, even nowadays too?
Nowadays it's getting better.
More in Germany, yeah. Is there anything from France that you're missing while you're living here? What do you wish you had from France?
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
Firstly.
I guess that's a big one, right?
Yeah, that's a big one.
So you're a little bit lonely here sometimes, right?
A bit, yes. Of course, I have a lot of friends, etc., but it's a bit different.
Of course.
And also French food, definitely. Even if I really enjoy the food here and barbecue, Korean barbecue, basically they are super nice, etc. But really, I'm starting to miss the French food.
Food, the German food. Potatoes, I don't eat potatoes here because they're different.
So you're missing the German food a little
Yes,
bit. Yeah.
Just German food. And my friends and family for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm feeling very comfortable here.
Well, one thing I don't like is that we don't have dryers. You have to like put them on clotheslines, which I understand because you have a small space, so you have to have only a washer.
Yeah.
And dryer takes up room.
Yeah.
But I miss that. And like it seems like when you have a Korean bathroom, Koreans are used to having like more hand towels than real towels to clean themselves. And I really don't like that aspect.
Ah, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I went to the gym. I did do my workout, then use the shower, and then they have these little
I
tiny
know.
towels. I'm like this big guy, like trying to dry myself out.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Once again, I'm Sean, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. How long have you been living in Korea now? How long have you been living in Korea now? How long have you been living in Korea now? How long have you been living in Korea now?
I remember trying to help an elderly lady with her bags. I remember trying to help an elderly lady with her bags. I remember trying to help an elderly lady with her bags.
You don't just walk in and sit anywhere. 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 When you get off the bus, everyone says thank you to the bus driver. When you get off the bus, everyone says thank you to the bus driver. When you get off the bus, everyone says thank you to the bus driver. When you get off the bus, everyone says thank you to the bus driver.
To me, it sounds like you also really like the convenience stores here, right? To me, it sounds like you also really like the convenience stores here, right? To me, it sounds like you also really like the convenience stores here, right? To me, it sounds like you also really like the convenience stores here, right?
One thing I do like about Korea is it's so convenient. One thing I do like about Korea is it's so convenient. One thing I do like about Korea is it's so convenient. One thing I do like about Korea is it's so convenient.
Usually when you enter a home, it's not really a requirement for you to take your shoes off when you go in. Usually when you enter a home, it's not really a requirement for you to take your shoes off when you go in. Usually when you enter a home, it's not really a requirement for you to take your shoes off when you go in. Usually when you enter a home, it's not really a requirement for you to take your shoes off when you go in.